what's going on, guys? It is FoxyDude98 here, and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we're back with my F1 2017 career modes here with Ferrari for the Mexican Grand Prix. If you guys do enjoy today's video, don't forget to click a like, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. And once again, thanks for all the support on these career mode videos. They just keep getting better and better and better. So yeah, we're going to continue onwards. But for today, no upgrades because we have already selected to make a chassis weight upgrade for the for the Brazilian Grand Prix. So we have to wait on that one. But as you can see, we're going to be putting in some of our old power unit elements now for practice. And as you can see here, we're going to be switching out my fourth elements on two areas to go to the third ones. So now we've basically got a full yellow engine, which we will take forward with us all the way till practice, and then of course in qualifying we will switch everything out, which is what we tend to normally do in the first place. So yeah, that's all we're going to do on that front here for the Mexican Grand Prix. And as you can see, it's time to do a little bit of work on the setup then, as we always do at the start of the episode. So I decided to go with 766. What did I even go with? I don't even know. I switched up. So I went with 5.5 wings to start. I think I changed that. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm not sure if I changed that or not, but you can see making some work. I decided to go with 8.4, and then on the brake pressure, that's always the same. And then the ballast, I think, is the one I changed. Nope, I kept it at 6. Okay. But yeah, just doing initial setup work, gathering what I know about the track, and then going forward that way. Into the track acclimatization test we go, and as you can see that we've done very, very well actually. We've gone purple all the way through, had a little section which was green, and then it's gone back up into the purple again. And across the line that we do get a purple score, which is perfectly good for us. On the tyre wear test, you can see that things really didn't go well for myself. I just wasn't able to pick up any time on the delta, and then that meant I had to push even harder to try and get the delta time into the green, which meant then that I pushed the tyre wear down into the red. So that really just didn't work for us. Onto the fuel saving then, and we're going to complete this one, which was very handy for us. So as you can see, we're coming across the line there. We managed to complete the fuel saving test, which is a positive for us, but on the tyre wear, not so much. Qualifying simulation run, this one was very tough, again with the worn engine. And as you can see here, I'm just literally trying to get this thing towards the line because the delta is just dropping, and we beat it by 4/100ths, which is a very small margin, but at the end of the day, we beat it nonetheless. And we're going to go back up to the setup. I thought I was running 2.2 wings for a second. I wasn't. It's fine. I actually increased the wings. In the middle sector was a little bit oversteery, mixture of understeer and oversteer. It turned into understeer, trying to counter that, and it flipped into oversteer. So I just didn't really know how to do it that well. So I decided to sacrifice some straight line speed, get some more wing on the car to help me out. And across the line here, we complete the race strategy. That was a very simple one, actually. So it was only the tyre wear test that we failed on, which isn't that bad. I don't really mind that at all. As we come across now to collect our resource points here. And yeah, we're going to have, I believe it's like 200 resource points. Not too bad, actually. And we complete a new core competency progress, which now means that we can get simultaneous developments on the car. I'm not really sure what that one is, because you could make simultaneous upgrades anyway, so I don't know necessarily what that means. But qualifying goals-wise, we need to qualify in the top 3 and beat my rival Valtteri Bottas. That's kind of a bog-standard thing now. Me and Bottas have been an intense rivalry ever since I joined Ferrari back at the Hungarian Grand Prix. And as you can see, I'm going to be switching out my power elements to the 5th unit, but my 4th unit for the energy store and the controlled electrics was still at 44 and 45%, so they weren't in the yellow. So I have decided that for this race, since they're still in the green, I am going to continue to run the older controlled electrics and the older energy store, mainly on the fact that because they're not in the yellow, I might as well just take them this race, which then means for Brazil and Abu Dhabi, those two elements can easily get to the end of the season. And as you can see then, into qualifying, we do qualify fastest, but that is quickly beaten as I only went out on the one run here. 9/10 off the pace. Lance Stroll again being OP in qualifying as usual, but look at that. My rival Valtteri Bottas has actually qualified in 16th, and he's been knocked out in Q1. He has indeed qualified on super soft tyres, but that's a really big shock there. Already one massive casualty. My teammate Vettel, look, qualified 3rd on super soft tyres, so I'm not sure if Bottas had heavy traffic on his laps or something, but in terms of the qualifying objectives, I've already beaten Valtteri Bottas because he's qualified all the way down in 16th, and that's huge because in the championship, oh, actually, he can't win the championship anymore. I don't think he can anyway. No, I think he's still got a chance, but he really needed to win this race, and qualifying all the way down there is shocking. But into Q2, we qualify in P6, 8/10 off the pace. Not comfortable with the lap times, but yeah, I felt like there was still something to grab, and I decided that for Q3, I'll save my pace for Q3. We're 2/10 up in the middle sector on Sebastian Vettel towards the stadium section now. We're sort of braking very, very early into this corner, trying to get the best run in here. This is a tough part, especially with no TC. Get the power on as quick as you can. Make sure that you get as much traction. You can see we're 6/10 up on our Delta. Snap of oversteer on the exit of the corner. And we need to beat a 116 flat. And that's a 115.8. And that is my second pole position of my career mode so far. We managed to grab pole position in Singapore, and we have got pole here by 0.2 of a second in Mexico, and it's a Ferrari front row start. So the two main championship rivals, the two Ferrari boys at the front of the field, and I'm really, really happy with that qualifying there. I saved it all for Q3. I was very far off the pace in Q1 and 2, and then I decided to really just go for it in Q3. And it worked a charm. And in terms of the rivalry update, we're now actually leading Valtteri Bottas. And as you can see, that we're getting very close to that purple now. That purple team approval, which will make Ferrari extremely happy. And that's something that I definitely want to get in the near future. Having a look then, we need to finish in the top 3, beat Bottas. And yeah, let's get into the race.
And joining me amongst the cheers of the phenomenal Mexican fans, it's Anthony Davidson. And welcome along to this historic circuit. What an occasion this is.
Yeah, it's hard to believe when you see the passion this country has for the sport that Formula One was away from Mexico for so long. It's fantastic to be here, and let's hope that the race lives up to the party atmosphere we've got going. It's a real fast track, this. We get up to Monza levels of speed down the main straight thanks to the high altitude here at over 2,000 metres above sea level. And with that comes the challenge of having less downforce in the corners. So that makes it a really demanding circuit, both for the drivers and engineers.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. It's Ferrari in pole position then, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Massa, Ocon, Daniel Kvyat, and Van Dorn, Vettel, Ericsson, Ricciardo, and Lance Stroll, Wehrlein, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Sainz, Magnussen, Alonso, Valtteri Bottas and Nico Hülkenberg. Palmer and Roman Grosjean starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Alright then guys, as you can see, we're on the grid now here for the start of the Mexican Grand Prix on the front row. And as you can see, we're going to be starting on the ultra soft tyres and then making 2 stops to 2 sets of super soft tyres. The 3 stop, it's kind of not really necessary. There is no need to do a 3 stop round here. But as you can see then, we're just double checking the strategy, making sure I got the car set up. I believe I changed it to 6.5 wings in the end instead of 6.6 wings. I needed a little bit more top end speed and I felt more comfortable on the back straight. But as you can see then, unfortunately, Sebastian Vettel, as you may have seen in the thing, has got had a grid penalty. So he's down the order, which means that we get a clear run towards turn 1. It's going to be a fight between me and Lewis Hamilton in this Grand Prix. But hopefully we can take the fight to Lewis as we start getting the tyres, brakes and engine temps all in their working ranges, ready for the start of the race. We're on the grid now here for the Mexican Grand Prix. We've got 4, 5 red lights here, and it is lights out. Here we go here for the start of the Mexican Grand Prix. It's been an okay start from us, actually. A very good initial getaway there. You can see that we've got a better run against Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton having to fend off Esteban Ocon, but you can see that Felipe Massa is in my slipstream now, and Massa coming out of nowhere, the flying man himself, has come blasting in towards turn 1. I'm going to go very wide around the outside. Massa gives me a hit there in towards turn 1. It collected my wheel there. Luckily no suspension damage as we come through now, but we get a huge snap of oversteer and we nearly put it in the wall there, and that's a horrible start from us. We just got on the curb, put the power on too early, and that's Valtteri Bottas there right behind us now as we're bumping and barging with Stoffel Van Dorn, and there's someone up on my inside now. I believe it's Max Verstappen there, and we just about squeeze on through, but we have lost a lot of positions and we're already down to P10 now. Looking at Wehrlein and Stroll, tried to find something, just no room there at all to make the overtake stick. And that's a shocking start for us. But onto the end of the first lap now. Pascal Wehrlein actually got hit off by Lance Stroll in the middle sector, which is why I've claimed the position on him, but I completely forgot to put it in the footage. But now we're close to get to the back of Lance Stroll. Massa leads, Hamilton second, Ocon third, Kvyat fourth, Vettel fifth, Ricciardo, Perez, Stroll and myself as we all come flying through. That was really hard to say, but we come straight through the pit straight now, and we've got a very good run on Lance Stroll here. Someone's locked up at the front of the field, down the inside of Lance Stroll. We make that move stick as we begin to make our recovery drive, and as you can see, Ricciardo and Perez going side by side now, and we've got a great run out of 1, 2 and 3, and now we're onto the back of Ricciardo and Sergio, and hopefully hopefully we can try and make a move on them. Ricciardo jumps into Perez's slipstream as he's not got any grip there. And down the inside here on Ricciardo and also on Sergio Perez. We make the move stick here, and then Perez is going to defend it down the inside, but we're going to go round the outside of Sergio. But he's still there on my inside. I'm going to have to keep giving him the room there. Sergio really put him up a fight, but eventually we just get in front of him. And we're now up into P6 in this Grand Prix. Next at the road is Vettel and Danny Kvyat in the Toro Rosso. So it's weird to see Kvyat out of the order, but hey ho, it is what it is. But yeah, unfortunately for myself, on the first lap, I got hit by Massa because it was 4 wide. I just got onto the curbing because Massa forced me wide, and basically I just put the power on way too early, and because it's sort of like, it's not a full-on straight, you still got to turn the car slightly. I just lost the rear end, had a huge snap of oversteer. Luckily they correct it and not put it into the wall. But yeah, we're now closing up onto my teammate Vettel, who's overtaking Kvyat here. But I fancy taking both of them here. And down the inside, once again, into this corner. We make the move stick on Kvyat, and now side by side with Vettel, round the outside. This time we get a better run off the exit, and we can cover off the inside against Sebastian Vettel. And that is us up into P4 now. Next at the road is Esteban Ocon, then Lewis Hamilton, then Felipe Massa, who still leads this Grand Prix in his Williams. But as you can see now, onto lap 4, Lewis Hamilton has made the move and he's up into the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix. But luckily for myself, the damage is very minor, as we are now back on the, we are now right on the back of Lewis Hamilton, Felipe Massa and Esteban Ocon. And once again, I fancy trying to get as many as I can here down the inside of Ocon and also on the inside of Massa. But that was a very clean move, and we seem to have got better and better at that. We didn't even need to fend anybody off. Now Lewis Hamilton leads this race, and I'm right behind the Mercedes driver. And there's a yellow flag in the background, so someone has had some sort of a problem. But onto lap 6 of the Grand Prix now. We're continuing to close onto Lewis Hamilton here, and we're just waiting for that DRS zone. The gap is 0.6 of a second, but unfortunately for myself, Jolyon Palmer is out of the Mexican Grand Prix. The virtual safety car has been deployed, and that's completely annoyed me, basically. So, Jolyon, I hate you. I could not use the DRS on the straight to attack Lewis Hamilton, so here, I have to use the DRS to close in, but there's Jolyon Palmer all looking depressed down there, but I'm really frustrated about that. I was going to use the main straight to get past Lewis Hamilton with DRS. But onto lap 9 of the Grand Prix now. Lewis Hamilton came into the pits 2 laps earlier than myself, so he's got a very big undercut in this race. But I've been going slightly longer on these ultra soft tyres as I smack the ball out there, because this now means that I can do the 2-stop from ultra soft to super soft, whereas Lewis Hamilton may actually have to use a set of soft tyres in this race, as he may not get the super softs to the end of the race. But as you can see now, into the pits, I believe that's Felipe Massa coming in behind us, or maybe Lance Stroll. One of the 2 Williams cars is coming in behind us, but I'm not quite sure where Lewis Hamilton is in front of all this. But we come out of the pits now here, and as you can see, coming down, there's Lewis Hamilton, and there I believe is Pascal Wehrlein, and he's got past Pascal, so he has made the undercut work, but he was still in front of us anyway. The gap hasn't really come down that much here as we break in towards turn 1. Lewis Hamilton sort of locks up here. He closes off Pascal Wehrlein, and I've just tapped the back of Wehrlein, and I've lost an end plate here. It's only a very minor damage, but Hamilton locked up. He then rejoined and tight on the apex. That made Pascal Wehrlein basically, in theory, brake check me, but it's not. He didn't necessarily purposely brake check me. He had to because Hamilton came on the track in a very dangerous way. And I just tapped him and I lost the end plate there, which is really frustrating. And that's going to cause me some understeer, especially in this middle sector. I'm just going to have to try and work my way through it. Onto lap 12 of the Grand Prix now, and the front wing end plate damage is costing me a lot of time in the middle sector. I set a 120.0 and Bottas sets a 118.8 fastest lap, showing that the gap between myself and Bottas is coming down as he's on ultra softs. And this front wing damage is getting pretty big now. Onto lap 19 of the Grand Prix, the gap is now 4.5 seconds between myself and Lewis Hamilton. The gap is just getting bigger, and the front left is starting to take a lot of punishment due to the horrible understeer. That middle sector, I could not take the middle sector flat out anymore. I had to either lift off, or even if I tried to go flat out, I would just cut a corner horribly. So I decided to come in for a 2-lap undercut like Lewis Hamilton did. Now, in theory, I should really pit onto a set of soft tyres to help me get into the end of the race. But my tyre wear in F1 2017 in general has been very, very strong. So I've decided that I'm going to be going onto a brand new set of super soft tyres, and I am going to make the front wing change. And the reason that I've come in 2 laps earlier is because I want to get that 2-lap undercut. This means now that I'm going to gain about 5 or 6 seconds of undercut time on Lewis Hamilton whilst he's there on his old super soft tyres. And then that basically then takes away the front wing damage pit stop that I had to do, because I was in the pits for 9.6 seconds in my pit box. So I want to try and limit that basically, and try and minimize the gap from about like 12-13 seconds to like 7-6 seconds to give me a fighting chance here. But Coming out of the pits, we've got a fantastic run on Daniel Ricciardo, and I don't think we've got DRS. No, unfortunately, we weren't in any detection zone, so we are just going to have to make the move fair and square, and that's quite easy because we're going to make it in the place that we've been making all our overtakes today. Down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. Next at the road is Sergio Perez, who I believe does come into the pits anyway later on this lap, so I don't necessarily need to worry about him too much there up in front because he's not really going to be challenging me in this Grand Prix. On to lap 21 of the Grand Prix now, and as you can see, having a look at some of the parts, my electronics, my energy store and the control electrics are now over the 50% mark after I did use them. But here now we're catching up to Esteban Ocon here in the Force India, who is still out on soft tyres, braking very late down the inside towards the stadium section, a little bit wide there, but we made the move stick, and Lewis Hamilton is on a set of soft tyres up in front, so he has made that pit stop. And on to lap 23 of the Grand Prix now, coming around the last corner here, we are going to see how far behind we are from Lewis Hamilton after the front wing change here. Have we got any chance? The gap is 8.8 seconds, and that is a lot to close.
Right, some information on Hamilton. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Right, so when I thought that this race was over, this race is far from over. Lewis Hamilton has got a mechanical problem. The gap is 7.7 seconds. Lap 30, the gap's down to 5.8. This gap is coming down really quickly now. We might have a chance here to actually catch Hamilton and pass him. Lap 32, the gap is 3.1 seconds now. We're getting ever closer. Look at this. On the end of lap 32, the start of lap 33, something's gone horribly wrong with Lewis Hamilton's car and his 8-second advantage and what should be a clean victory for Lewis Hamilton to help him in the Drivers' Championship is going all wrong. And if I beat Lewis today by a considerable amount, he will no longer be in the championship fight here. So this is absolutely huge. Through the first couple of corners now, Lewis Hamilton is basically defenseless against myself. I'm up into Rich Mixture, and we're coming towards now the corner where I basically overtake absolutely everyone here, putting the car into lean to save some fuel. Down the inside, I actually brake a little bit too early here. Hamilton gets a good run, but I'm going to do a switchback line here, and there you go. We're through on Lewis Hamilton, and we're up into the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix after all of that, after the front wing change, after the snap of oversteer at the start of the race. We're up into the lead. Lewis Hamilton is in huge trouble now. Vettel has passed him, Bottas has passed him, but this race is far from over because my championship rival, Sebastian Vettel, wants to snatch this win away from me and lower the points advantage going into the Brazilian Grand Prix and keep the championship alive for himself, and he is catching me all the time here, but I'm in Rich Mix. Vettel has DRS and he's got the slipstream, but he's just not fast enough in a straight line, so somehow Sebastian just doesn't seem to have enough of a gap. Enough straight line speed to get in front of us here, so we hold on from Sebastian for the time being, but we've got Marcus Ericsson in front of us now, who really needs to get out of the way, and you can see the tyres are starting to scream now because I pitted very early for these sets, and this is what's costing me now. My tyre wear is huge as I put the car back into lean mixture, and Ericsson, come on, get out of the way, man. You're in a slow Sauber. I'm in a championship fight here, and I need to win this Grand Prix to basically seal the deal for the Brazilian Grand Prix, but I just need him to get out of the way, and he's starting to slow down now. And we put the car back up into standard. Mitch and Ericsson, come on, get out of the way. Oh, God, that's really close there. And, oh, we've lost the rear end, nearly going into the wall there. So, Marcus Ericsson, I was fuming in the cockpit then, but we just need to keep our composure now. We've got less than a lap now here. And as you can see, Vettel, Bottas is now right there as well. So the two championship, well, naturally, no, Bottas isn't a contender, but you can see we've gone all out of shape here. Those rear tyres are screaming, the front tyres are screaming. We've just got no grip here, and I'm going to have to go wide here, cut the corner slightly, and that's going to cost me here. Sebastian Vettel now gets a great run, but Bottas has got a fantastic run here. Vettel is now in trouble here, in towards the stadium section now. I've kept my position, but Vettel needs to defend from Bottas now. If Bottas takes Vettel's position, that's going to cost them in the championship now, so I go really wide into the stadium section for the last time here. I've got two roaring cars want to get straight past me here, through towards the last corner. Bottas is going to steal it from Sebastian Vettel and across the line to take the win of the Mexican Grand Prix, but that was a close race, and Bottas nearly got me, but he did nick the position off Vettel. He stole second place, which means that my points advantage increases by 10 points, and Vettel will be absolutely furious with that. And as you can see then, we come out of the cockpit and we win here in Mexico. And in F1 2016, I don't think I ever won the Mexican Grand Prix in my career modes. Out of the 6 career modes that I did, I don't think I ever won the Mexican Grand Prix. But here, I've finally broken my curse on F1 2017 of this Mexican Grand Prix track in career mode, and I've taken the win. Very, very fortunate to take that win. And just again, guys, just to reiterate, you know, it's all about luck a lot of the time in Formula 1. You can have a lot of talent, but sometimes you just may not have the luck. And today we had it. Lewis Hamilton had that win in the bag. after I had to make a change for a new front wing. Bottas and Vettel could have easily passed me. Hamilton is now out of the running for the World Drivers' Championship. That mechanical problem really hindered Lewis Hamilton, and Bottas and Vettel with fresh tyres were just all over me come the end of the race. Yeah, as you can see then, Lewis Hamilton dropped to P4 in the end, but the gap was 3/10 between me, Bottas and Vettel. I don't know what the gap was behind in terms of Bottas and Vettel across the line. It was, wow, 2/10 separates me and Bottas. But in the Drivers' Championship then, the gap between myself and Vettel is 42 points. And that does mean that only me and Sebastian have a chance of winning the Drivers' Championship. And that does mean for the Brazilian Grand Prix, I just need to score 8 points or more in order to secure the championship. In the Constructors, Mercedes are now in trouble against Ferrari, as they need to outscore both Ferrari drivers and hope that we have a bad Brazilian Grand Prix in order to secure the Constructors' Championship. But there we go, guys. That is it for the Mexican Grand Prix. A lot of action, a lot of chaos, a very quiet middle stint. It was an action-packed Grand Prix at the start. Very quiet then in the middle, had to make the front wing change, and then it all got intense at the end of the race again. Super close and exciting finish. But there you can see other resource points stacking up, and as you can see, in the driver rivalry, we're now still a point clear of Valtteri Bottas, so that's close there. As you can see, his fast lap was way quicker than mine. And now we're finally up into the purple for the team approval, which is awesome, and that means we are going to get a phone call from Emma letting us know that the team are very, very happy with our recent performances, which is very good. Obviously, that's going to keep the Ferrari team happy, and as you can see then, there it is, guys. But thanks ever so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, drop it a like, subscribe if you're new around here as well, and I'll see you guys for the next episodes of the Brazilian Grand Prix and the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix tomorrow. Take care all. Peace!